Lions TV, this is the Den Daily, bringing you all the latest gossip, views and transfer news from in and around the Den. I saw this break yesterday and I didn't really want to get involved in it too much because at the minute it does seem that all fucking arrows are directly targeted at Gary Rowett. I've said I feel we've been in worse positions under him before. We currently sit 13th in the division. I don't feel we've really got fantastic players that can really push us on to another level way beyond what Rowett has. However, I never really wanted him as the manager, and I do feel that we don't play the Millwall way, and I do find it quite tedious going and watching the team. So I'm putting that across out there now, and I'm also saying in defence of Rowett, what I've seen doesn't really surprise me. I'm talking, of course, that he has been linked with the vacant West Bromwich Albion job. And the rumours all started due to a podcast called The Liquidator, where a guest on the show was a former Birmingham Mail journalist called Chris Lepowski. He seems to be a little bit in the know. I'm guessing he's our equivalent to, a John Kelly or a Richard Cowley or a Jake Sanders. And he's been on this podcast and he said that he knows from a very good source, so again, it's not concrete, that Gary Rowett is very interested in the West Brom job. Of course, Rowett's name was thrown into the hat for the Queen's Park Rangers job, and there were rumours, and they were just rumours, that he also put himself forward for the Sunderland job, and that was a reason why there was a bit of a wangle going on and a little bit of a delay in him signing his new contract with Mill. Look, it could all be speculation, it could all be talk, but it does seem to be building pace online, so I am now going to throw my hat into the ring, and I'm going to defend Rowett, and I'm going to say, look, okay, I never wanted him as manager. I have said on numerous occasions, I think he'll be out the door the first opportunity that he gets. He has never managed outside the Midlands previously in his career. Who's he managed? Burton, Stoke, Birmingham, amongst other clubs, Derby. So he's always played his career pretty much and managed his entire career in that area. He's never ventured to London before, and I feel that the first available opportunity, he may try to get out and look for a different challenge and potentially what he would think would be a bigger job away from Mill. I don't hold that against him in the slightest. I do feel, just from the feelings that I get, that that would be true. And as I said, I can't knock him. He wants to be near his family. I know he spent a long time away from him during COVID and allegedly was struggling with that, which is completely understandable. A man working away from his family. And let's be honest, he isn't massively appreciated by Millwall fans, myself included, and he must see what we are currently saying about him, what I've said about him in the past a long time ago. So, if you're not appreciated in your workplace and there's an opportunity to go and live and work a lot closer to where you're comfortable, then I have absolutely no problems with it. Is it true? Well, look, there is no smoke without fire, and these rumours can't keep cropping up. I believe that if the job came up and was offered to Rowett, he would be gone, not just because West Brom on paper are a bigger club, and Jeb Wallace also thought that they was on paper a bigger club than us, and that hasn't worked out for him. Steve Bruce is gone. Gary Rowett is keen on the job. That is the rumour that is circulating, and it's not just a rumour. It's been put out there by some very reliable journalists and sources, and it is gathering pace. They also alluded to in the Liquidator podcast that his current number 2 is, of course, a bit of a West Bromwich Albion legend. Paul Robinson would be interested, I believe, in going back to his former club as well. So at the minute, everything fits. I think it's whether West Brom will want him. And again, now, no disrespect to Rowett. I feel he steadied the ship under Neil Harris. I feel he continued when Neil Harris left, but I don't feel he's taken us really to another level. Is that budget holding him back? Well, he's had budget before, it seems like Stoke, and it didn't work out for him. So will they want him? I can't really see it. But then again, I don't really rate him as a manager, and I'm sure many others do. I think, even though the team's not doing too bad, even though he's not going to get sacked, and even though, the chairman won't want to get rid of him, I just feel that it's a bit of a situation now where we've sort of had enough of him. Some fans outside, SE16 will be thinking, well, why? Not Birmingham fans, because I've seen some tweets recently where they could have been tweeted by Millwall fans, some of these tweets going out about him, his football's boring, he plays people out of positions. But you can't argue with the stats, unfortunately, and the results that he has had at this club. So if West Brom are interested, I would be surprised, and I don't think they would want him. There is bigger names in the hat, such as, Chris Wilder, he's in the hat, but he didn't do a very good job at Middlesbrough, did he? But Scott Parker, Carlos Cobadan, of course, is currently without a club, I think, after leaving Huddersfield in a very good position, and Sean Dyche. So I think they'll probably go for one of those bigger names. They won't have to, obviously, with Parker, Dyche, or Cobra, and they won't have to compensate the club that the manager is currently with. They would have to do that in Rowett's situation. But is it a bigger picture than to look at, will they take him, or is it the problem that he actually wants to go? Is he actively looking to get out of SE16? That's the question, and it won't bode well with our fans if that does prove to be the case. However, I personally don't hold anything against him. If that's what he wants to go and do, I would be pleased if he did leave, if I'm honest. I don't really enjoy going watching Millwall at the minute under him. I enjoy more this side of things, discussing games once they've happened, putting previews out, doing ex-player interviews. The actual in-game stuff at the minute is my least enjoyable part of Lions TV. And I'm going to Bristol City on Saturday, and it'll be a good crowd. We've just got another 300 tickets, but it's just not Millwall under Gary Rowett. And that may seem harsh, and that may seem difficult to understand if you're an outsider looking in. But if you're in the bubble, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. And that's your lot for the Den Daily. I'll give you more on this if it arises. As I said, I'm just going off facts of what we've seen from statements that have been put out by journalists. It does seem to be gathering pace that the news coming from Twitter and worldwide today that Gary Rowett is interested in becoming the West Brom manager. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.